Alright guys, this is the fourth video in this series, and I've been working since I uploaded the other two, and again, a million apologies about some things. One being that I thought out of this series, Doc and River Drawing 02 wasn't going to download onto YouTube, but it did. So everything I said about jumping from 1 to 3, ignore that, because you're seeing 1, 2, 3, and now 4, right? So I have worked in here and pushed some things along. And I just want to go back once again, explaining what I did. Over in here, you're going to see these marks in here that I used to describe this water. Now, you see the seaweed there? That's there. And I'm not trying to get it perfect. I'm trying to get the sensation of it sitting on the surface. That's all. And I put those marks in there. Same thing, the waves coming in. I don't know if you can see them. Right? The waves coming in, little ripples coming in. Back in here, I know in this area there's these little dark marks, and I put them in here. I got to put them over here too, but I got the white marks to put in there too. So this is pretty dry. I'm feeling it's pretty dry. Okay, so I'm going to be able to work on it. Let's talk about a few other things. Remember how I said I didn't like these marks in here and I was going to work this surface to suppress them under the value? I don't feel I'm done in here, but what I feel like, I don't mind them. Like, who's to say there's not wear marks in there from people walking or whatnot, right? And flipping it. I know it's darker in the center and lighter it seems on the outside, but why not flip it? And we're still in a spot where we could flip it if we took our willow and went in there and did things like this, right? Now, all of a sudden, that area over there is going to be lighter than what happens in the center area. And I might even be a little bit like in there. Right now, it does give it a little bit more visual oomph here. And then what I could do in here, and I've done a little bit, is these lines going across there, 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 and obviously as we go back there's going to be less and they're going to be shorter, right? And so we'll just take it back to there. Maybe we'll go in here and go like, okay, let's drop this guy in here, let's drop it that in there, there, there. All right, I'm fine with that. I might want to fine-tune this a little things like that being so heavy there. That bugs me. That might bug me a little bit. All right, we softened it. All right, so now we're going to get up in here, right? And as I said, I feel like that's pretty dry and we can work on it. So, to stop from smearing the surface, what I'm going to do is I got a rag with me, but I'm hunting for a piece of paper. Here we go. All right, and I'm going to take the piece of paper and I'm going to drop it there. And that's going to help stabilize it and not pull up any material off that drawing. Then I'm going to put the rag here because it's soft and put it there like that, right? I've got my Conte, white Conte, and I'm going to work this shoreline first right on either side of this, right? And I'm going to go in there and I'm going to go, okay, we're going to go in here and we're going to just make small marks, just like that. And we're going to allow some of the dark area to come through. And maybe because it seems to be grabbing really well, I'm not going to be pushing down so hard, right? Now there we go across, right? I got that building. And because the handrail's white, right? And the Conte, the reflection of water on the reflection of the light on the water is white, I might have to do some work in here to say there's where the handrail is. And off the top of my head right now, this is my solution. Let's say I pull some of these whites off of the handrail, so it's like the water is coming, the reflection is coming out from under the dock, the handrail of the dock, right? Now it looks like I lose it in there, right? A little bit, but we're going to take this mechanical pencil. I'm going to go in here and I'm going to go in right here light. Right in here. And I might even bring it down into here some. Now, mechanical pencil, why that? Because it's so, soft. It's a fine mark, right? It's a little silvery. And then maybe if I feel like what I did inside that handrail was too much, there. And I get just a little indication, okay, that's the edge of the handrail there. So I'm going to do that, right? And I'm going to build this out. And I'm going to build it, and I'm going to think of a gradient. And what I've been talking about, going from the gradient from white to dark. And it being a smoother gradient where you go from the white light marks to the darker marks, where they feel like they're integrated more. It's not like a big heavy step, right? Which means I'm going to have to go in here. I'm going to have to push these guys across, right? In here. I'm going to keep them pushing, and I'm going to look at that shape and go like, okay, it comes up here a little bit. All right, there's some out in here. Right, is there more here? It seems to be a mass down in here. Right, and this is all I'm doing. I'm right. Remember how I've been talking about Van Gogh, and he doesn't have all the marks lined up like guys in a soldiers marching in front of you. You don't want to do that. Okay? Then I go here and I grab my willow can, and I'm going to integrate some of these in here. Right, just it. And then depending upon how far you want to push this is all you do. Right now the gradient is more even. It's not just going from white areas to dark areas. Right? The white's going into the dark area and the dark's going into the light area. So that would be worked all through there. Right? Now I also can come in here and I can take this lighter, the white Conte again, and I can do this. And they're kind of like, I view these as action marks, like they're showing the water coming in. I can do them over here too. And obviously if I want them to come out from behind the dock or under the dock, I need to get in there and do a little bit of work. So I went there. Oh, all this dark area in the handrail was done with a charcoal pencil. Now I grabbed the charcoal pencil, right, because I can have more precise marks in there. And I can carve out edges in there. And I also can get darker values and lighter values. So this is going along. I'm happy with this. I smudged out up in here, and I like that up in there. It gives me more of variation, right? But I think when I spray it, something different is going to happen.